Hello and welcome to GunganWatch 2017. Today we're going to be looking at some Phantom Menace books, all from 1999 or thereabouts when the film came out. So to start off with, we're going to look at the novelisation of the Phantom Menace by Terry Brooks, who wrote the Shannara series of books, which are fairly popular and I think got adapted recently. Main thing I want to say about this one is that it's pretty much like script accurate, apart from some scenes about Anakin's childhood before Qui-Gon arrived. But the only other big change is that Jar Jar speaks fairly differently, as you can see there if you want to read it. Here's an example. He says, "'Tis embarrassment, but me afraid me be banished, sent oot. Me forget boss Nas do terrible hurt to me if go back there. Terrible bad hurt." Which, I am glad they changed that if that was in the original script, because that sounds far, far more close to a kind of Pidgin or Creole English. And that wouldn't have been unfortunate, because there was some unfortunateness to Jar Jar's speech in the first place. So we'll just move along from there for now. So next up we have a Star Wars Episode 1 The Data File from Fun Facts, if you remember them. And immediately there is a big issue, and that is that out of these 4 weird static images of people just kind of standing about Maul's head, none of them is Jar Jar, and there's absolutely nothing on the back to be Jar Jar, so, you know. What we're going to do is we're going to have a look inside, and learn a bit about the previous owner of this, because I got it at, like a used book sale thing. So what I've done is I've used some stickers from another one of the books we're going to look at to cover up some things like phone numbers and addresses, but we can learn this person is named Ross, was born on the 2nd of September 1989, has brown hair and both green and blue eyes, so he's got 4 eyes, I'd assume, and that's his signature. We can assume that his last name starts with B as well, so we're learning all kinds of things. Probably B for Battleship, and his name is Ross Trade Federation Battleship. Here's some vital information. We can learn that his mother was Liz, his father was Peter, and he didn't have any brothers, but he possibly had a sister, because he's not written any of their names, but he's crossed out brothers. So I'm going to assume this EOP here is in fact his sister. His best friend was Nick Gomez, and as you can see I've crossed out Nick's address. And he signed it for us, which is lovely. I hope he's famous. Nothing else on that page, and absolutely nothing in the data bank, which is basically a address book. But here we have Ross's preferences. So if we ever meet Ross, we can treat him to pizza and chips, but not fish, and some cola. His favourite music is Al, and he's crossed out what looks like not more. So he only likes Al. Or he only liked Al, and then he's decided he liked something else, so that's not more. His favourite TV is Digimon. His favourite films are Star Wars. His favourite colour is pearl, because he's not put a P in purple, I think, but it might just be that he really likes pearl. His favourite days are Fridays and Saturdays. His favourite place is his room. His favourite smell is pizza smell, which is fun. His favourite film stars are Buff and Kylie and Ali, who are my favourite film stars as well. Favourite songs are No More and It Was Me. And his favourite people are Nick, Mick, DJ Thomas, and Ross, who is probably his evil twin. So here we have C-3PO. We'll move on. And in that area, it's just some information about all the ships and things and stuff. There's Anakin with a thing that says Sebulba and a sticker of Captain Panica with his face scribbled out, which worries me. Someone should probably check on Hugh Quashi's health, because this is the character data section, and we're just going to quickly skip through and see, look, he is here, and you can learn all about him in this book. It's a wonderful book that you can buy at all good bookshops in 1999. So yeah, that's how we're going to end, just showing that our best friend there. Next up, we have Star Wars Episode 1, I Am a Jedi by Qui-Gon Jinn, and the foil stickers are the ones we use to cross out those personal details in the last thing. So yeah, there's a big issue with this. It's written by Qui-Gon Jinn, Jar Jar's best friend, Qui-Gon. And look, as you can see, it's all written by him, even in the blurb, and you could get a few different books. Unfortunately, we don't have this one, which would have been the best one to have. Watch Out Jar Jar, because it's about our best friend and our lover, Jar Jar. But we don't have that. But the main issue with this book is that, even though it's talking about Qui-Gon's happy Jedi times, it doesn't talk anything about Qui-Gon's best friend, and you'd think Qui-Gon would at least slightly talk about his best friend Jar Jar in his own book. It's awful. There's not even a single image with even him in the background. So I think Qui-Gon's being a bit mean to his best friend there. Moving on. Next up we have the Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace Official Souvenir Annual 2000. So it probably came out in 1999 rather than that. From Egmont World. There's our best friend Maul hanging out on the back. He's not our best friend, he's our second best friend after Jar Jar, our best friend. And it says, "My book for the new millennium." So that's fun. So there's some character profiles and things. No one particular interest until we get to this double page spread, which is what this book is really all about. Look at that. Jar Jar. I really love this arm style pattern he's got going on behind him. It's a bit like his arms. Talks about him. And here is our dad. Everyone at GunganWatch's dad, Boss Nass, voiced by Brian Blessed. He's our dad. So that's fun. Nothing else particularly interesting in the book. It's mostly just a more simplified retelling of the story of the film. So we will move on from that. Next we have Star Wars Episode 1, The Visual Dictionary, which is very cool. There's our best friend Jar Jar here. Says he's got partially retractable eye stalk and mottled skin for camouflage. We're just going to skip to his page again. Just because that's kind of what we're here for on GunganWatch. I'm just getting to the right page, and I probably should have marked it beforehand or something. Yeah, here we go. We have a full, huge, double-aged A3, bigger than that, possibly, spread of our best friend Jar Jar. And what I really want to draw your attention to, more important than anything else, is this, which I agree with wholeheartedly. If my camera's going to focus, there we go, fashion statement, and mollusk and gumball breakfast. So we know that he's a fashionista, and he had a mollusk and gumball breakfast. So now we know exactly what all of us Gungan watchers have to have for our breakfast from now on. Mollusk and gumball breakfast. Next up is just the pages on the Gungans. Captain Tarpals, may he rest in peace. And our dad Boss Nass is back, and also Rep Tears in his lovely Gungan robe. Now, I've never understood why the Gungan, like, sacred ruins are like human head things. I just kind of assumed that the Gungans lived there and the humans came later, and they seem pretty ancient, so I don't know. Here's a page on Gungan warfare, with all our favourites, like Fambas and Cadus. There's our best friend Jar Jar riding on his Cadu. It's very cute. And the next page is about the sea monsters of Naboo. So there's our last little Jar Jar section, and we can learn a bit more about the things that live in the Gungan habitat. So that's all fun for us. We all love that. And that's everything of interest to us in that book, I think. And we are going to round out with just a tiny bit of Star Wars Episode 1 Incredible Cross Sections. Because it's cool, it teaches you all about the technical stuff going on inside of all of the spaceships and fun things like that. But we're just going to look at one particular page, which is what they're describing here as Gungan Sub, which is the bongo, as all of us true Gungan fans know. And there he is, sat inside, in a rather lovely illustration next to his two best friends, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn. And you can learn all about how they build all their stuff, because there's also, there's the sub pen that it comes from. Yeah, it's all very cool. So, again, yeah, I think just look it up if you want to look at that. I'm sure it's on the internet somewhere. It's been out for 25,000 years. But yeah, that's everything I have today to look at. So, remember, as always, to keep on Binksing. That one wasn't good either.